Mame fa na se ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de o se Edem yopo.
Wow. Today we bring you nothing but a hot debate going on between the NDC and the NPP. And today we bring you nothing but a hot debate between Edem Agbana, the youngest MP in Parliament, and a fresh face in Parliament as that has crashed with an NPP communicator on the removal of the IGP. And it sparked fire on the show, the Good Morning Show on Metro TV, which I want you to join me listening to what triggers the argument and how he also defends the government of his action. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe for more videos, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Please do turn the notification bell on so that you'll be updated on any latest gist. This is the best place to keep yourself updated with facts and figures. Without this channel, there is none again. Keep glued to the channel by turning the notification bell on and subscribing for more videos. Join me listening to what went on or what Edem Agbana also said about the removal of the IGP or the replacement. Let's say the replacement of the IGP is not the removal, the replacement of the IGP from his post. Without much ado, please join me listening to the hot and the fierce debate from the youngest MP in Parliament. Thank you.
And Ghana Police Service pending the final determination of the suits. The argument is that the defendant suffers no injury should application be granted, especially since the decision is in no way far to be delivered, and more so since in the event plaintiffs do not emerge victorious in the final decision, the executive will not be proscribed in exercising their rights of removal in any of these heads the application adds. Edem.
Yes.
Do you know why the president decided to sack George Akufo Dampares?
Well,
before we look at the case in court.
Yeah, let me first and foremost congratulate the new IGP for his elevation to such a status. It's very important to appreciate that when you are in a particular institution or service, to rise through the ranks and become the #1 gentleman or to be the leader in that service, a service or a force, an institution as important as the police service is no mean an achievement. And so let me congratulate the new IGP and also use the opportunity to thank the former IGP, Dr. George Dampares, for his service to this country. He has also played his role, and it is the end of the road in that position for him. And so we appreciate his work. He also came to replace somebody, and the same constitution that was used in sacking or removing the person he came to replace is the same constitution that President Mahama has used. And in fact, when you go to Article 202 of our constitution, it is very, very explicit, and there is no need to even have any qualms or conflict or debate over this issue.
Okay.
Because Article 202 of our constitution, in fact, Chapter 15 of our constitution is solely dedicated to the police service. And Article 202(1) says, the Inspector General of Police shall be appointed by the President acting in consultation with the Council of State. 2022, the Inspector General of Police shall be the head of the police service and shall, subject to the provisions of this article and to the control and direction of the Police Council, be responsible for the operational control and the administration of the police service. how the appointment is done is defined. Their role or responsibilities also clearly defined in this constitution. President Mahama only acted within the power granted him by the Constitution of the Republic. But this morning, I don't want to even focus on the legal aspects of this conversation because there's a matter in court and you don't want to delve into it and start speaking law. But I want us to focus also on the moral aspect of it. But when President Mahama took the oath of office, he took the oath of office and promised to keep Ghana safe. He took the oath of office and promised to ensure that he works in the interest of this republic. It is important for all of us to allow him to decide the set of people or the group of people, the team he intends to work with to achieve that ultimate aim of keeping this country safe and achieving our economic goals. And that is why when President Mahama was president, he made an appointment of IGP. Between 2013 and 2016, we had an IGP. President Akufo-Addo came, sacked that IGP, and appointed another person. I don't know where this difficulty all of a sudden is coming from, where as if President Mahama's appointment or dismissal or replacement of IGP Dr. George Dampares is a novelty. There's nothing novel. Since 1992, successive governments have always had the appointment of IGPs done, and not just the IGP, but all the security heads. Look, we are talking of a position that is very sensitive, like the IGP's position. And it is important and sensitive because these heads are managing, they are the core of the management of our national security. So it is important for the president to be allowed to appoint and work with whoever he is comfortable to work with. So where is this argument of the president is flouting? Which constitutional order or provision is the president breaching with this appointment when it is clear in the constitution that under Article 202, the power to appoint the IGP or the head of the police service rests clearly with the president. And so we should allow President Mahama to do his work. Again, outside the issues of legalities, and I've heard people make the argument that Dr. George Dampares did well or was doing well, performing well, and so he should be allowed to stay on until such a time that he retires. Granted that the argument about competence or his performance, granted, is anything to go by. Are we saying that the new person that has been appointed doesn't have the capacity or doesn't meet the requirements or eligibility to become IGP?
Before we get to the issue about competence,
Yes.
capacity, ability, let's exhaust the issue about the illegalities.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, the matter is in court, and I agree with you that we don't want to be seen to be sub judice because the matter is still in court. But if you look at the Imani suit that he has filed in court, it argues that by the Constitution of Ghana, the president has no authority to terminate the appointment or remove from office a person occupying the office of these security agencies unless only upon proven stated misconduct or misbehavior established against these office holders. So that's where they're coming from.
Which provision of the Constitution are they quoting?
Well, it must
Which
be
provision? Because when you read the Constitution,
I want to also because you have the
I have a copy of the Constitution
Good.
here, and I'm quoting Article 202.
right.
And Article 202
Yes.
here does not give any fixed tenure.
Okay. So,
see, the
so
framers of the
they're
Constitution.
using articles 200, 202.
When you check Article 200 what?
So Article 2. So okay. So there's 200. There's 2021. I'm looking at the suit.
Yeah,
2021.
the 2021 is the provision that rather gives the president
The power to appoint.
the
Good.
IGP.
So how about 202, 2022?
2022 just gives the roles or defines the responsibilities.
Great. We're making progress.
Yes.
2023.
Subject to the provisions of this constitution,
Yes.
the power to appoint persons
Yes.
or to hold or to act in an office in the police service shall vest in the president.
205.
The president may
205. So 205. Yes.
Article 205.
Yes.
Article 205 talks about the prison service. That there shall be a prison service of Ghana. The prison service shall be equipped and maintained to perform its traditional role efficiently.
I'm doing this because these are the articles they've cited in the suit.
So all
I want
the
us to walk
articles-
through so that we're clear.
Yes.
What the articles mean.
So all the articles that they have cited.
Good. So
Okay.
so let's exhaust. We have two more. So there's 2071 and 2072.
Article 2071.
Yes. 1,
Says-
2, and 3.
The 207 says the Director General of the Prison Service
Okay.
shall be appointed by the President, acting in consultation with the Council of State.
Okay.
And so all these articles rather gives the mandate to the President to appoint his heads of security agencies. Look, the framers of the Constitution had a reason why in 1992, in this Constitution, the power to appoint heads of the security agencies
Okay.
was vested in the president. There's a reason why the framers of the Constitution decided to do so, because we have a checkered history of democracy marked by several terminations or coup d'etats as we or military takeovers. Now, when you are president and the power to maintain law and order, security, ensure that the country is safe, rests with you, you take decisions that aligns with your vision for the security service. So President Mahama has decided that for the Ghana Police Service, it is COP Christian Tete Yohunu that he believes can best work with him to ensure the effectiveness of the police service. And the Constitution clearly has given him that mandate.
Right.
And so I do not think that we have any difficulty about it, because where the Constitution thinks that individuals must be subjected to fixed tenure or fixed terms, the Constitution says so. That is why, as Member of Parliament, I know I have a term of 4 years. So by your 4th year, you will go back to your people for re-election, or you decide not to contest again. But for the police service, nowhere in the Constitution is it stated that until you retire, the president cannot appoint another person. There is nowhere in the Constitution where it is stated that until the president finds you incapacitated, you must continue acting as IG. Tomorrow, President Mahama yesterday appointed COP Yohunu. Tomorrow, at his discretion, he can decide to appoint a new IGP. And the law permits him to do the same.
Right.
So, let us allow the president to do his work, because there is nothing unconstitutional about what he has done.
Okay.
If the case is that the argument is that we have gotten to a point where we must allow the president, or we must allow IGPs to stay on until their tenure or they retire, there is an ongoing conversation or dialogue on constitutional review. I will urge Imani and all those who think that president should not change the IGP
to submit papers to the Constitutional Review Committee.
Okay.
But for now, President Mahama is right in making a decision as to who becomes his IGP, because the Constitution gives him the power to do so. But again, Moro, I was making a point about
Capacity
capacity
and ability to do the job.
Who defines who an effective IGP is? What is the metric that you are doing? Is it that when the IGP is down to earth and will get down from his car to go and buy what we locally call buffaloes, but I'm told in English it's supposed to be buffaloes or something like that? Is it when the IGP is greeting people on the street, hugging people, or dancing at a festival? Is that what is effectiveness? What is the metric? I'm only asking that. Why are we creating an impression as though the police service has become so efficient that there are no challenges? But you see, if you want to know the issues, the challenges in the service, have you monitored the reactions of police officers after the news of the dismissal of George Dampares? I have so much respect for Dr. George Dampares, but my question is, what is the metric in determining who an effective or efficient IGP is? When you come to Ketu North, my divisional command, with all the police stations that we have, some of them, when you look at the conditions, look at the fact that for a big place like my place, common vehicle, pickup, for the police service to do their work effectively, they are not getting. So what is the metric? I want to understand when people say he is effective, he is doing well, or he is such an efficient IGP that which will allow him to stay. What is the metric? Why? What has it done about the killings of Ghanaians during the elections? What has it done about issues of bribery and corruption within the service? That today, when you interview or you sample 10 Ghanaians, 8 or 9 out of the 10 will tell you that the police service is the most corrupt institution in this country. What has the immediate past IGP done about the welfare of police officers? There are many police officers whose conditions of service very, very traumatizing, very terrible. And so I want to know from those who think that Dr. George Dampares is a good man and must not be replaced, that what is your metric? What are you using to measure his effectiveness? I just want to know. Because yes, I have respect for him as a person. I have so much respect for Dr. George Dampares, but my respect for him cannot be interpreted to mean he's an effective or efficient IGP. Because we clearly have not seen the metrics. We clearly cannot tell what are the indicators of determining who an effective IGP is. So the president, acting within the powers conferred on him by the Constitution, has decided that COP Yohunu should be the next IGP, and we must respect that and work with him to achieve the security goals.
But Edem, the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, campaigned on the message of resetting Ghana. Now, the general understanding, and I stand to be corrected, but the general understanding of resetting Ghana is that we do not intend to repeat. So we intend to do things differently as a government. Now, if the conversation which has happened in the past for a very long time, we've talked about the fact that we ought to do something about the framework that appoints heads of security services like Chief of Defense Staff, IGP, heads of the fire service, and so on and so forth. And that we ought to be able to find a way of guaranteeing or safeguarding their independence by virtue of the kind of jobs that they do. And its attendant consequences when, so it sometimes depends on who does what. You know, the IGP is able to move. don't you think that perhaps, as president who wants to leave a legacy, he probably should have decided that, look, once I really don't have any compelling reason to remove this IGP, maybe let him just stay and do his job. I mean, unless, of course, I have some very, very strong reservations about his work, then I can let him go. But before you do that, let me say that John Darko is with us here. He's a member of parliament for Swami. John, sorry, it's good to see you. Good morning.
See you, my
How
brother.
are you?
I'm doing terrific.
Yeah. This, I think, your second time on the show, isn't it?
Yes, my second time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything fine?
We are managing under very difficult conditions from my brother's government.
Oh, you're already feeling it. Oh, you're already feeling the difficulties.
Well, of course,
Oh, then you have to brace yourself up because
it's going to be tough for us in
you
this
have,
country.
you have some 20 more years to remain in opposition.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, I'm happy you didn't say forever. At least 20 years.
You have some 20 more years.
All right, so you campaign on reset, so why change it?
No, but resetting Ghana agenda does not mean that when the president has a reason
Which is?
to believe that COP Yohunu is the best person that serves his interest or aligns with his vision for the police service, he shouldn't appoint him. Again, I'm asking that why is the impression being created that Dr. George Akufo-Dampare is untouchable? And I'm asking that all my friends in the NPP, and indeed those who are making the argument that he should be allowed to stay on, none has been able to provide any indicators for us to measure that he has been so effective, for which reason, or he has undertaken such pragmatic reforms within the service, for which reason he should be allowed to stay. It is all about he's a good man. And I'm saying that you don't measure the effectiveness of IGP with populist moves. And I'm getting sick with this argument of he's a good man. I keep telling you that. I have respect for him. And I'm not even happy having this conversation and trying to delve into, but what is the metric? How are we measuring his effectiveness?
Okay.
Look, professionalism in the police service under Dampares has been thrown to the dogs. There are many instances where we encounter policemen and women, and you can see clearly that the so-called perception of effectiveness is only tied to the IGP's populist moves of he himself buying kinky and fish by the road or other things. It is never about any reforms within the police service.
So you are not convinced that
I'm not convinced that
Dampares has done a good job?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm not convinced that Dr. George Akufo-Dampare has been so effective, so transformational in his work, such that he could not be changed.
Okay.
Again, President Mahama has the ultimate responsibility when he took the oath of office to keep this country safe. So if acting in consultation with the police council, he decides to appoint COP Yohunu, it tells me, I am convinced that he believes COP Yohunu will perform better than the person he is replacing.
Okay, that's fine. I guess that you've made your points. And before I bring in John Darko, let me read what Felix Ofosu-Kwakye issued, a statement Felix Ofosu-Kwakye put out. That sort of, ended the whole rumor about the fate of George Akufo-Dampare. So I'm sure that you would put it up on the screen shortly, but I have a copy here, so let me just read it whilst we put it up on the screen. So, Presidency Communications, it says President Mahama appoints COP Yohunu as Inspector General of Police. President John Dramani Mahama has, in accordance with Article 91 and 202 of the 1992 Constitution and in consultation with the Council of State, appointed Commissioner of Police Christian Tete Yohunu as the Inspector General of Police. He replaces COP Dr. George Akufo-Dampare. COP Yohuno brings 40 years of experience to the position of IGP and is expected to oversee the modernization and transformation of the Ghana Police Service. Signed, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, MP and spokesperson to the President and Minister, Government Communications. John, where do you stand on this?
Well, okay.
Good move, bad move, or you are indifferent?
Thank you for the opportunity. Regards to all your cherished viewers. Generally, the president, we know, has the power, in most cases, to appoint people he will work with. But we are living in a constitutional democracy, and the principle of constitutionalism is to restrain, as it were, the exercise of governmental powers for the benefit of the people. And so the Constitution is a framework that gives the president powers, but also takes some of the powers or restrains the exercise of the powers so that the individual will be liberated. So if you look at Article 202, as it's been stated from the presidential communication, yes, the president has the power to appoint IGP in consultation with the Council of State. But if you look at the same constitution under Chapter 14, which lists public service, and the public service includes the police service, under Article 91 B, 191B, Article 191B, 191B, okay. A member of the public service shall not be dismissed or removed from office or reduced in rank or otherwise punished without just cause. And so if the president, in exercise of his powers, wants to remove the IGP, generally one would have expected that it would be for a just cause, because clearly that is what the constitutional imperative demands, But if you look at the communication that came out, it never gave any such reason. But I can see what my brother Edem is trying to do. He's trying to give us the reasons which inform the president, and being a member of the NDC, a member of Parliament, I'm sure he has enough information. So he's able to tell us, for instance, that the Dampares era, at the time, professionalism was thrown to the dogs, to quote him. He is saying that Akuffo Dampare was a populist. So he is telling the people of Ghana that the IGP was such a populist person. There was no professionalism because under his reign, professionalism was thrown to the dogs.
Sorry, John. I need to clarify something. I think it's important because he was talking to the public, but of course I was here. I heard him. He did not tell us that the reasons he's adducing.
Let me make my point.
No, just a second.
But we're here.
I'll do same. I'll do same for you because my job is to make sure that the records are set straight.
Okay.
He was.
My brother said, and I'm surprised with the kind of posturing the NDC have started taking, that I am sick and tired. And he said it, that he's sick and tired.
Yes.
People are asking for questions.
No, he said it was
sick and tired.
He said it was
asking questions why the IGP was removed.
He said
this is what this so-called resettlement is about.
John,
when we ask questions, you are sick and tired.
Yeah, John, he said it was his personal view. Because I asked him. No, listen, I asked him.
No, but you see, I premised my submission by saying that my brother is an NDC.
Okay.
He is a member of Parliament.
True.
Good one as that. He's my very good friend.
Okay.
They are in the thick of affairs.
Okay.
Unless there's another reason the president or the presidency is going to give to us, I am inclined to go by what he's saying.
Okay, that's fine.
That under Akuffo Dampare's reign, professionalism was thrown to the dogs. That is why he's been removed. That is the statement NDC is saying. Metro, here after here, published that from my brother Agbana.
I hope you're not suggesting this is the official position
Don't
but
of the
mind.
government
Don't mind.
or the
Well,
party.
don't
I hope
mind.
you're not suggesting so.
Don't mind.
For me,
Okay,
that's my only
Okay,
concern.
so
I mean,
I'm sure he'll
okay,
be
that's
back.
fine.
He'll be back to respond to that. But in his view, okay, let me just grant him that.
Yes.
Edem, I'll grant you that in your view, under Dampares' reign, there was so much populism, and that Dampares acts were full of populist acts. Okay, and that he said also that there were no reforms under Dampares' reign. I mean, look, I am no fan of any individual police officer. I am no fan of Dampares nor Yohonu. What I want is for the work to be done. Dampares' work will be judged by the people of Ghana. Dampares' work will be properly judged by those who failed some form of safety in the country. Dampares' reign will be judged by all of us, including you, Mr. Moderator. You know what the man has done. The man is not 60 years. They haven't given any reason for his removal. And you know the sad thing? This is a government that, before it was formed, the NDC political party felt that if a matter is in the Supreme Court, it should be treated as sacrosanct, even in Parliament. Okay, when it came to the issue of dismissal, when the leader of our party in Parliament, Osahene Afenyomarkin, tried to raise the issue of dismissal of the hundreds of thousands of workers by the chief of staff, what did the first deputy speaker say? He ruled that once the matter is in the Supreme Court, Parliament could not go in, and that we couldn't even discuss it in Parliament. That was the ruling of an NDC first deputy speaker of Parliament. Now, the same NDC, when a matter is in the Supreme Court, and ruling is supposed to be given, in fact, judgment is supposed to be given in May, when an application for injunction has been filed, you violate all that and go ahead and appoint somebody into an office which is being contested. You violate the Supreme Court, you violate the Constitution, you think that you are all in all, and the argument is that the people of Ghana have given them overwhelming majority, and so they can do anything. John Mahama has become an emperor. Emperor John Mahama. Disregard anything, even from the Supreme Court. And that is what we are witnessing. I am very sad that our president couldn't just wait for 2 months for the Supreme Court to make his decision before he went ahead to make this appointment. For me, I think that he's, if you look at the release and the article, the article that we 1913, Mr. President is actually, without giving us this valid reason, without just cause, is acting in excess of his jurisdiction.
John, you have just one question before you come in. John, I'm sure you have a police protection. You have a police protection.
Well, I'm entitled to it, but I haven't even taken it.
You haven't taken
it. Edem may have taken.
Okay, so
I drive alone. I work alone.
If you intend to take,
but you don't feel safe at the NDC.
I don't have police protection.
If you intend to
we
take
are entitled to, but no one in the 9th Parliament currently.
Yes. Yeah, John. But if you intend to take up, that offer,
right?
If you intend to take up that offer,
yes.
Would you wish that you are allowed to, for instance, give an opinion or to suggest or to recommend somebody you'd want to protect you, or you'd say you don't mind?
Yes,
I mean, whoever is giving you, you don't care, you don't mind.
People of Ghana. He's not supposed to protect the president. His first duty is to protect the people of Ghana. Let's make it clear. He's not. I'm not sure the present argument is that he's looking for an IGP that will protect him. I mean, that would be another reason we want to scrutinize. Okay. That he's appointing a police officer who can protect him. So it's about him, not about the people of Ghana.
I think the principle behind the question I'm asking is, you don't think the president deserves the right to determine who he's comfortable working with?
Okay, you see, that is a very important question.
Okay.
If the framers of our constitution wanted that to be done, they would have stated so clearly. So when it comes to governance, it's not so much about what you want. It is about what the law says, about what the constitution says. So for instance, if the constitution wanted a situation where the president will appoint, let's say, Supreme Court judges he is comfortable with that parliamentary approval, the Constitution would have stated so, that the President will appoint members of the Supreme Court without parliamentary advice and consent requirements. But the Constitution didn't do that. The Constitution wanted a situation where the legislature would scrutinize the people who want to send to the Supreme Court. So there is that checks and balances. So the Constitution said, if you want to remove people in the public service, and you see, if an ordinary police officer is supposed to get this requirement, that he's supposed to, if you want to remove him, you are supposed to ensure that you are doing that for a just cause. How much more the IGP? How much more the IGP? So the Constitution did not anticipate a situation where every president will come and, for his own safety, remove security officers. It has to be for a just cause, and it's provided for under the Constitution. What is the cause? Unless, I mean, you've told me not to take Edem's opinion because that is not present, is not the official position. Then you would like to know why you are doing that, because you see, that's what I'm saying. The principle of constitutionalism, ask any lawyer, is that you give the president power, but you also try to restrain the exercise of that power to create a balance. You know, the reason for all of that is for the protection of the individual. And so the laws are not created for the benefit of the president. It's created for the benefit of the people on which, I mean, he presides.
Boro.
Okay.
Just a quick one. Let me begin by stating that I think that my colleague John Darko is trying to set his own questions and provide answers. Maybe because he was late, he did not follow my line of arguments on this. I have said that yes, the president has not provided reasons why he's appointing COP Yohuno. But those who are making an argument for Dr. Dampares to stay make the argument that he's a good man. And I am questioning that what makes him the good man and who defines him as a good man? Is it when, as IGP, you dance at a funeral or at a festival with your police officers that makes you a good man? Is it when, as IGP, you step out of your car to buy kenke and fish by the roadside that makes you an effective IGP?
But I'm not cutting.
Is it when? No, I allowed it. So I'll come there. I'll come for the reason.
For a just cause.
Is that what makes you an effective IGP? I just want to know from those people. But moving on, I am surprised that John has taken this position, asking for the president to provide reasons or justification. I have here in my hand a letter signed by Eugene Ahim, Director of Communications, Office of the President, in under President Akufo-Addo, 21st July 2021, for immediate release. This is the letter, and the heading: President Akufo-Addo appoints COP George Akufo Dampares as acting IGP, and Deputy Director General Isaac Kofi Ejiri as acting Director General of the Prison Service. First paragraph. The President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has directed the Inspector General of Police, Mr. James Opon-Bonua, to embark on terminal leave with effect from Sunday, 1st August 2021, pending his retirement from the police service on Thursday, 7th October 2021. That is for the IGP.
Let's interrogate it. He was supposed to go for a terminal leave. No, but I'm saying that.
So allow me to
look at 1-1-3.
John.
If you look at 1-1-3.
John, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
And removal from office.
John, I am getting there. No, John, I'm getting there.
Please allow him to
allow me to get there. Allow me to get there.
Go ahead.
You want us to talk law, okay? This you cited Article 1912, which says that 191B, a member of the public services shall not be dismissed or removed from office or reduced in rank or otherwise punished without just cause. Was the direction or the instruction to let Opon-Bonua proceed on leave? Opon-Bonua, I don't know how to put it.
Yes.
That directive for President Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
Is that in line with this constitution? The point must be made that the Constitution gives the President of the Republic the power to appoint the Inspector General of Police. And so if you, John Darko, you become the Inspector General of Police, and the President of the day decides that in line with my vision for the police service and to ensure the safety and security of Ghanaians, I think that Moro will better serve as the IGP, and he appoints Moro as the IGP. He has not removed you from the police service. Neither has he removed or reduced your rank. Because the position of IGP technically is not a rank, it is a position within the service. You understand? And so it is very basic. If today, as a member of parliament, the president cannot, or my party chairman cannot remove me as a member of parliament, but if, as say majority leader, the party decides that in the interest of our caucus, we want to make another person the majority leader, as we saw in the 8th parliament with those changes, it doesn't mean that those who were in leadership and were removed have been removed from parliament. The position of IGP is a privilege which you were appointed to by the president. And for that, at any point in time, in exercise of the president's constitutional mandate, you can be removed from that privilege or that position. But the president, in the letter appointing COP Yohunu, did not anywhere state that Dr. George Dampares has been sacked from the police service. Did not state that Dr. George Dampares' rank as COP before he became IGP has been reduced as punishment. And so where is this argument? It's a privilege. You need to
let's just read the second paragraph. It says he replaces Dr. George Akufu Dampares.
As IGP.
He's been removed.
From the police service?
He's been removed.
No. How can you make that argument that, I mean, sorry to say, but it sounds ridiculous to make the argument that if the letter says Yohunu replaces Dr. Dampares as IGP, it means that he has been removed from the police service. He has not. Until he retires. No, but you don't even expect the letter to give you all of those all those explanations. But why? You can check. He has not been removed from the police service. It's a privilege. And even he, Dr. Dampares himself, when he was appointed, he proceeded to make changes to the police leadership. There were people that were directors of IT, director of operations, and many others. He replaced them. It doesn't mean he has removed their rank. It is the privilege to serve in that position that was taken away from him. And so legally, the president has not erred, or the president has not acted or done anything that is unconstitutional. So your interpretation of Article 191B is very problematic. And I think you should take a look at it again. You asked a very important question about police protection. As part of our entitlement in Parliament, as part of our privileges, we are entitled to a police guard. A police guard. And all of us, as members of Parliament, have the power to decide who should be that police guard. So it is not the police protection unit, the PPU in Parliament, that decides that this officer of ours should become Edem's bodyguard. We were given forms where you request, so you can request a police officer as long as the person is in the service.
You mean of your choice?
Of your choice. So I can request that.
Okay.
I can request that my sister, who is a police officer in Bolga today, should become a police guard.
Okay.
And so I am just to request for her to be brought to me.
And it's well within your right.
It is. That is. In fact, that is the principle.
Okay.
And so all of us have forms. I was given my forms about 2 months ago. Personally, I tell my friends, and my friends know that you know me, that I'm a very simple guy. I said, no, I don't want a police guard. But that is because I have become a property of the state. And so the state feels that in order to protect me, they must give me a police guard. But the choice as to who protects me is mine to make. So the president is well within his rights to decide who should be his IGP. It doesn't mean the IGP is the one providing protection to the president as an individual. But the president as John Dramani Mahama, president as Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo when he was president, president as Professor Mills of blessed memory, they do not represent their individual interests any longer. They represent the state. That is why even when they have programs or they are to attend, let me put this in a very simplistic way, family meetings, the state will provide enough security because the person has become of national interest or a public asset or a national asset. And so we are to choose who our police guards will be in parliament. Even ministers of state who are entitled to, they decide who should be their guard because you must be comfortable. Look, many of the
But he raises the counter argument that the IGP is not the personal bodyguard
so
of the president.
That is what
so
I'm explaining to you. That's what I'm explaining to you. That is why the framers of the Constitution gave the power to appoint the IGP to the president, because the president, it is no more about, sorry to put it this way, John Dramani Mahama as an individual. The president is an embodiment of our nation. He carries the aspirations.
Collective, you mean?
Collective, our collective interests.
Yeah.
He carries the aspirations and the hopes of the Ghanaian people. And so, President Mahama today cannot on his own decide that he loves to ride bicycles, and so he can just jump on his bicycle and be riding through town. Why would the state limit him? Because, God forbid, but if anything happens to the president of the land, it affects the entire nation. And so, it is not about President Mahama as an individual. It is about the fact that he is carrying with him the responsibility to ensure the safety of every Ghanaian. So he decides who should lead the police service. And I tell you, even though COP Yohunu has been in the police service for so many decades now, as he has become IGP, the next thing you will see is that he will also decide who should be his director for operations, his director of why? Because when you are in leadership, when you hold such a sensitive position, you want to be in command over the people you are working with. And let me say this just briefly. Look, when you study most of the military takeovers or coups that have happened in Africa and elsewhere, it usually happens or starts from people who are close to the presidents.
Okay.
Why? Because their positions are very key. And that is why the Constitution did not say when you appoint an IGP, let him come before Parliament for Parliament to vet him.
Okay.
And that's why the Constitution did not give Parliament the right to approve or disapprove the President's nominee for IGP, okay, but gave the same Parliament the power to approve or disapprove President's nominee for the Supreme Court. Gave Parliament the power to approve the President's nominee for his ministers or to disapprove. But for IGP, but for head of the security agencies, the power solely lies with the President, acting in consultation with the various security councils. And so let us allow President Mahama to
John, I know you have a lot to say, but just a second. You have a lot to say. I know you have a lot to say, but let me just remind our viewers that you're watching.
Thank you. We much appreciate your time on the channel, and this is how far you have come for this scene. We have more in stock. This is not the end of the show. We have more in stock coming your way, and you cannot afford to miss out. Just stay glued to the channel by turning the notification bell on so that you'll be notified on any latest updates. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Now so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.